Well, good evening, everyone. It's me, Gold Pandan. We're in the garage here tonight. We're going to be doing a little building. We're going to try building ourselves a rocker box. We're going to use this rocker box hopefully to go out and find us some more gold this year. Got some claims that are dry claims, and I got those high bench claims I think we can use this on. One of the claims is kind of right on the way between my house and work, so I think we could stop off maybe in the evenings, maybe once or twice a week, and try to get towards that 3-ounce goal. So stick around and we'll get the build going. Just wanted to point out a few things here. We got some tools laying out. These are kind of the things we'll be using, along with the miter saw and probably the table saw behind me. We got some 1x4s and 1x6s. These are just pine. We got some wood glue. This is rated for exterior use in water. It's waterproof once it's cured and dried. We have some sealer to seal it up at the end, and some screws, some miner's moss. I got some steel to make some riffles, and some extruded metal to make some other riffles. I'll be using a nail gun to help us put it together, and we'll also do some screwing. We'll screw some of it together as well. So these are just the tools I'm using. Obviously you could use less tools, more tools, whatever, but just kind of showing you how we're going to go at it. All right, let's kind of show you the plans we got going together here. I'm going to make this one to be 24 inches long, or 2 feet. It's going to be 10 3/4 wide at the outside of these uprights. What that'll allow me to do is allow me to stick this end into a 5-gallon bucket. Now this is just kind of the plans for the frame. We're going to have some 2x6s, or sorry, some 1x6s for the sides and this one back. And then these up here will be 1x4s. These upright pieces here that are kind of tying things together are going to be 1x4s. And on the bottoms, this is going to be 1x6s, but we're going to have to rip them down on the table saw. And we're going to make a little rabbet joint at the middle here to glue and nail together to keep that kind of sealed together well. And yeah, this will be our frame. We'll draw up kind of the rest of the plans as we're going, but this kind of gets me a start. So I say we get over and start cutting some wood. I'm going to cut 2 boards at the same time, so I need 6 of them. And so it'll save us a little time. Always remember, wear your proper safety protection. All right, here now, we got all our pieces cut for this frame, kind of for the cradle part of it. Now, I'm going to start assembling this together, but I'll kind of show you some of the cuts here that we had to do. For the bottom, like I said, we made a rabbet joint here where these 2 pieces are going to come together. So we'll get glued and nailed together like that. And that'll make the bottom of the rocker box, the bottom of the sluice run. Here we got the sides. Got a nice little taper on them. And yeah, the rest of the pieces to make up the frame. So I say we start getting this glued and nailed together and screwed together and see how it turns out. All right, well, there you saw me kind of struggle through putting this together, this much of it. See, we got this glued and nailed. It all feels pretty good, pretty solid. We're gonna go ahead and continue on and put these next pieces on and put the supports around the outside on. We'll have to trim those down. We made a little bit of a mistake in our original plans. I just kind of drew those up real quick. Originally, this was supposed to sit on top of these boards, and these boards were supposed to stick out. But I kind of like this better. Anyways, so we're gonna go with it. All right, let's show you guys what we're at here so far. See, it's coming together. It's starting to kind of look like a rocker box, isn't it? I think what we're gonna end up doing though is I think we're gonna burn it. What I mean by burn it, I just mean kind of like burnish the outside before we seal it all the way. I think that'll look pretty neat. Make a pretty cool looking little rocker box here. Now this is just a little guy. You know, the old timers had a lot bigger ones, but this will work for what I want to use it for. So yeah, alrighty. We're going to call it a night, and we'll pick up back on this tomorrow night. Hey, alright guys, it's a different night here. We're getting back to doing some more work on the rocker box. See here, we got a few more pieces made. We got the baffle made, got the supports in there for the baffle, and we got one of the rocker pieces made. I'll go over how I got this all to work out. So I decided to do about 1 inch for the height difference between this point and this point on the rocker component. And so the way we determine the diameter for drawing this arc is we use this equation right here. We take the chord length squared divided by 4h, which is the height of the arc, plus the height again. And so what the chord length is the distance from point to point on the arc, and the height is the height from the top of the arc back to the chord length. And so our chord length is 10.75 inches, our height is 1 inch. So as we plug that in here, we end up with roughly 30 inches, 29.89. So we just said roughly 30. So we set the radius to 15 inches. So what I did is I took a square and squared up from the center to the bottom of the block, which would have been straight, to the screw, found 15 inches on this string, and drew the arc, and took it, cut it, took a piece of sandpaper to it, and now we got the first rocker component. So now we're going to take that and just scribe it onto this next board, and then we'll have the 2 rocker pieces. We'll screw to the bottom. We're just going to screw those on in case I decide to do something different, and that way I can take them off and replace it with something else. So, all right guys, we're just about getting this thing finished up. Rocker box here. We got to get this plate here cut for some holes and stuff for the screen. Now we're going to take that over to a good friend's place, and we're going to run that on his plasma table because, you know, why not? The rest of the box is all finished up here, the woodwork at least. So here in the box, we got some expanded metal. Got some carpet to throw under that expanded metal. And some leftover miner's moss. This is about all I had that would fit in here. And then we're going to weld some of this up for a couple riffles that'll be at the top. And then it'll be the expanded metal over carpet. And that'll be our catch system. And then all the way up top here, we got a little indicator mat. And we'll see if we like this or not. If we don't, we'll rip it off and try something different. But for now, what do you say we get this plate cut and get this metal welded together and get this baby finished up? Alright guys, we got our plate cut. See, we got our punch holes there, and this is all cut out to fit around these tabs here. We'll get that nailed to the bottom of that guy there. And we got our riffles welded together here. This will help hold everything in here. We got a couple holes to drill that we'll use to strap this end down, and then we'll be done with it. So let's get her finished up, and we'll show you the final product. right, we'll show you here. Here's our punch plate. Now I only did punch on half of it and the upper half isn't. The thought on this is this kind of gives you an area to work the material a little bit, and then it forces it to this end of the classifying tray, so that way the gold can follow through there. This comes right off. And then, oh look, we got some gold in there. So then that falls through the punch plate and ends up on the indicator mat here. And that'll show us if we're catching any gold or not, or showing any gold. And this pops right out to the area down below. Now down in here we got miner's moss, and then we got expanded metal with carpet. Now these riffles, I pointed them backwards than a typical sluice box, and I did this on purpose. And the thought is that as you're rocking this, this is mostly working as kind of a pan, you know, your gold pan, and you're stratifying the material, and hopefully the gold is settling down inside there. So it's a thought. We're going to give it a shot. You know, the other thought on that is that you really don't have flowing water to create the eddies right away. You know, that water will pick up speed as it's starting to go down. And once it comes over this last riffle, it'll have some speed, and this expanded metal will work. So then this just pulls right out, and this will all come apart, and you clean it, take your gold out. Well, folks, there you got it. We got a rocker box built. This is a pretty fun project to do. I think it's going to work. It rocks real nice. Got a nice classifying system. I think we're going to have a good recovery system here. But the only way to find out is to take it out in the field and test it out. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see us take this out and test it, hit the subscribe button so you can see when that video comes out. And if you got ideas or questions, leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to answer you. And anyways, until next time, I'm Gold Pandan telling you, if your cradle ain't a rockin', the gold won't come a knockin'. Take care now.